Have you ever pulled a rubber band and felt it fight back? That simple feeling is tensile force at work, a fundamental power that shapes our world in countless ways. Tensile is all about how well something can be stretched or pulled without breaking. It describes the ability of a material to withstand a force that is trying to elongate it, to pull it apart from opposite ends. Imagine you and a friend are pulling on opposite ends of a rope in a game of tug-of-war. The rope is experiencing a pulling force, and its ability to resist that pull is directly related to its tensile properties. It is a quiet, yet constant force that we rely on every single day. Tensile and tension are two sides of the same coin. They are close friends, working together. Tension is the name we give to the pulling force itself. When you hang a picture on a wall, the wire holding it up is under tension. The weight of the picture is pulling it down, creating that force. Tensile, on the other hand, is the material's response to that tension. It is the inherent strength and stretchiness that allows the wire to handle the pull without snapping. A material with good tensile characteristics can endure a great deal of tension before it reaches its breaking point, making it reliable and strong. Let's think about this with a simple comparison. Picture a piece of cooked spaghetti. It is very easy to break. If you pull on both ends, it snaps almost instantly with very little effort. The cooked spaghetti noodle has very low tensile strength. It cannot handle much tension at all. Now picture a strong, thick rubber band. You can pull it, stretch it to several times its original length, and it will still hold together. The rubber band has excellent tensile flexibility, or elongation. It can absorb a lot of pulling energy by stretching, which is a key part of its tensile nature. These two very different responses to the same pulling force perfectly illustrate the concept of tensile properties. Understanding this relationship is crucial because it helps us predict how materials will behave. When an engineer designs a crane, they need to know exactly how much tension the steel cables can handle before they fail. They are not just concerned with the weight the crane will lift. They are deeply concerned with the tensile strength of the cables that will do the lifting. This knowledge prevents accidents and ensures safety. Tensile strength is not just a concept for scientists and engineers. It is something you interact with from the moment you wake up. Your clothes are a perfect first example. The fabric of your t-shirt needs a certain amount of tensile flexibility. It must stretch as you move your arms and bend your body. Otherwise it would feel stiff or even tear with a simple motion. The threads used to sew those clothes together are even more critical. They sit under constant tension, holding seams together. A weak thread would snap, causing rips in your jeans. Manufacturers choose threads that resist daily pull and wear. Next, think about your time in the kitchen. Opening a sealed jar often means pulling hard on the lid. The metal lid must resist deforming under that force. Even plastic wrap relies on tensile properties. You stretch it tight over a bowl. Its tautness creates a seal. This kitchen tool works because it can handle being pulled. Finally, consider sports and recreation. A tennis racket showcases tensile forces in action. The strings are woven and pulled to very high tension. Ultra-realistic slow motion. A tennis ball hits the strings, and you see the mesh deform. Weak strings would snap after a few serves. Likewise, a climbing rope is a literal lifeline. It combines high tensile strength with some elasticity to absorb falls. From the thread in your shirt to the rope on a mountain, the principle is the same. A pulling force is applied, and the material must be strong enough to handle it. We take for granted these things work, but behind each is careful consideration of tensile strength. It is a true, unsung hero of our modern lives. When we look at the massive structures that define our cities, like skyscrapers and bridges, we are looking at monuments to tensile engineering. Bridges, in particular, are masterful examples of managing tension. On a suspension bridge, like the Golden Gate Bridge, gigantic steel cables are draped between two tall towers. These main cables are under immense constant tension, as they hold up the entire weight of the roadway below. The steel used for these cables is chosen specifically for its incredibly high tensile strength. It can withstand the relentless pull from gravity, the weight of thousands of cars, and the force of strong winds, all without stretching significantly or snapping. Engineers must perform meticulous calculations to ensure every component can handle the expected forces. They don't just guess, they use precise data about a material's tensile properties. This involves testing samples of steel, concrete, and other materials in a lab. A machine will pull on a sample until it breaks, measuring the exact amount of force required. This breaking point is known as the ultimate tensile strength. By knowing this value, engineers can design structures with a large safety margin. ensuring materials are never stressed near failure. This rigorous testing is why we can trust a bridge to carry us safely across a river. Concrete is another interesting material in construction. While it is incredibly strong when you push on it, a property called compressive strength, it is actually very weak when you pull on it. It has low tensile strength. To solve this problem, engineers embed steel bars, known as rebar, inside the concrete. Steel has fantastic tensile strength. When this combination, called reinforced concrete, is used in a beam, the concrete resists compression forces. This principle extends beyond bridges and buildings to almost everything that is manufactured. The body of an airplane, the frame of a car, and the chain on a bicycle all depend on materials with the right tensile properties. In aerospace engineering, materials must be both incredibly strong to handle the forces of flight and extremely lightweight to save fuel. This has led to advanced composites like carbon fiber, which offer exceptional tensile strength at a fraction of steel's weight. The careful selection and application of materials based on tensile strength is what allows us to build a safe, efficient, and modern world. Long before humans began engineering with steel and concrete, nature had already mastered the principles of tensile strength. The natural world is filled with incredible examples of materials optimized to resist pulling forces. Perhaps the most famous example is spider silk. On a weight-for-weight basis, some types of spider silk are stronger than steel, a spider weaving a web, thread by thread. A spider's web is a marvel of tensile design, lightweight, incredibly tough, elastic. It needs to be strong enough to withstand the impact of a flying insect, and elastic enough to absorb that energy without breaking, ensuring the spider can secure its meal. Scientists are still studying spider silk, hoping to replicate its properties for human use.